but you talked about um, poverty and being black in Lafayette. In your mind, and being a financial advisor, I'm always thinking about how people think about money. Did you make a connection in your mind growing up between race and money, or race and poverty, or were those two totally separate items to you? They just both happened to be part of your situation.
I think it's a really good question. I think growing up in a white community, going to a white school where typically I was the only black kid in my class, if maybe I had a couple others, right? In a high school of 1,500 at the time probably, and there's like 5 of us, and a couple of us are family, right? So I don't think that I saw enough black families to understand that there's some difference in the wealth distribution in America at that time. Definitely didn't get that. My aunt and uncle were factory workers, and so they made money, and they took care of their money, and they did great things with it.
Okay.
And my uncle, my other uncle lived in Lafayette, and he was a factory worker, and so they made good money. So there was a money that was happening, but it was different. What I quickly noticed wasn't necessarily the poverty tied to being black, but was the difference in opportunity from a professional. Because understand this, I never had a doctor that was black.
Sure.
I never had a teacher that was black. I never had anybody that you would almost look at and say from a white-collar professional world, I didn't know anybody that way. Right. And so it became the unconscious mind, I think, for me at the time was kind of like, well, take all those jobs off the table because those weren't available to me.
So those are white people.
And my uncles and my aunt, they all worked in the factory. And nothing wrong with that because they made great livings and they did amazing things, but that was kind of the ceiling of that. So I can't say that I was able to form this connection. Also, you got to remember, my mom is white.
Right.
And so us being in poverty, there was a different dynamic. Looking at it differently today in 2021, I think you have a different realm of looking at those things. So I think that there does come a point in time in every kid's life where you go, I'm poor. And I don't have what other people have, and I can't do the things that they could do. And I think what happens a lot of times in a lot of poverty-stricken communities is, but there's enough little things that make you feel like you're not poor. Like, I had a pair of Air Jordans, and you had, some clothes you got for Christmas, and you had some cool things, especially around sports too, right?
Yeah, right.
But it's the other things, right? It's the vacations. It's what happens when your car breaks down. It's all of those little things that it was later in life until I understood really that was about poverty.